My pleasure to introduce to you guys a guy that played football at Gallatin High School, right down the road, went to Tennessee State University, and then he played 12 years in the NFL with numerous football teams. My pleasure to introduce Mr. Brent Alexander.
Appreciate it. Oh, I'm going to be short as possible, but thanks for having me, and I always enjoy getting out and speaking to especially some of the youth of today. But I've got about 3 things I want to talk about, and each one of them can be extremely long, and I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible. The first thing I want to talk to you about is a little bit of my past, all right? And as Coach Holt, Jeff Holt just said, I'm born and raised in Gallatin, Tennessee. My whole family's still in Gallatin. My grandfather still lives up in Gallatin, Tennessee, and my mom, my dad, everybody. Everything it seemed like I ever known growing up was in Gallatin. But the reason I bring that up is because a lot of the stories that I'm going to tell you right now, I want you to be able to relate to. Because sometimes you meet people and they've come from different circumstances, different places, and they've done different things and had different situations that happened in their life. And what I'm talking to you about is someone who's come from the same area that you do, all right? I grew up not too far down the road from here. Now, when I was little, I had a lot of little idols, so I want to bring this up. When Jeff Holt was in, 81, 82, you came, 81 season is the season, and you know, one of my idols of all time was when he used to play quarterback and safety at Gallatin High School. A little bit of corner early on, I believe. Was a little corner? Was it all safety? Changing numbers and everything. But I mean, I just remember all those great days back. But when I was coming up, things that would happen to me I never thought would happen. So to make the long story short, I played 12 years in the NFL. All right, my first season I started out with the Arizona Cardinals for 4 years. I played with the Carolina Panthers for 2 years. I played with Pittsburgh Steelers for 4 years. And my last 2 seasons when I finished up in 04 through 06 was with the New York Giants. Now, in those years, I managed to start all 12 of my seasons, which except maybe the first 5 or 6 games of my rookie season. And the thing is, as I look back, everyone always wants to say, what was the formula? What was the remedy? What did you do differently? Well, let me tell you a little quick story. Well, when I was at Gallatin High School, one of my dreams was just simply to play at Gallatin. It's just to get on the field, play high school ball. When I was playing little pee-wee football, I just wanted to get on the field. Many people is not going to believe this, but after pee-wee football, from the time I was in 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, and 11th grade, you know what position I played? Quarterback. The bench. Someone got it right. The bench. Yeah. The bench. The bench. I sat back and waited a long time. People ask me all the time, well, how was it that you were able to play 12 years in the NFL? I had a lot of rest. I had a lot of rest. The stories always come up. Well, were you a backup? Did you start growing late? What happened? What did this happen? What did that happen? I said, I don't know. I said, the only thing I can say is maybe it wasn't a priority. I can't really explain what it was. All I can say is I played my part. I played my part. I showed up on days that I didn't feel like it, when it was hot outside. I worked on days I didn't feel like it. Okay? I had to wait for my time. And as my dad once said, just make sure when you run on the field, that bench doesn't fly out when the starters run back on the field, you know? But that was my life up through my junior year. It hit a point in time going into my when I was completing my junior year of high school, getting ready to be a senior, that I said I didn't want to play football anymore. The one thing I always did was I focused on my academics. Now, long story short, I ended up starting my senior year. I ended up getting a few scholarship offers, but at that point in time, I told them, I said, you know what, I don't want to play any more football, I'm done. I sat back and watched long enough. I'm going to focus on my academics. I was fortunate enough that I went to college anyway on a full-ride academic scholarship. But then after that, I decided I wanted to play anyway. I met the head coach at Tennessee State, and I decided I wanted to play. Well, things changed. I went from a guy who sat on the bench all through high school, which many people would have quit, and I wanted to quit, to becoming an All-American safety NCAA first team consensus All-American in college on an academic scholarship. I didn't play 12 seasons of the NFL, starting 11.6 of them, of those games that I played. Remember, the academic scholarship. Everything that I did in my life, no one would have ever planned on because it was always different. In my second year, I had someone come to me and present the gospel to me. And when I got saved, I then realized that there was a plan. No matter what it was that I did, there was a plan for my life. No matter how hard I quit, no matter how much I changed directions and went my own way, there was another plan. So people ask me, what happened? What did you do different for 12 years to make it in the NFL? I had to follow the lead that God gave me. I had to do things that all my other friends wanted to go over other places. I couldn't do that. There was other things that everyone else wanted to do. There was much better athletes out there that should have made it ahead of me, but they didn't follow the path. So many times you hear stories of great athletes and that they made it because you knew they were a great athlete from the time they were 5 or 6 years old. Well, my story was different. My story was simply this. God had a plan for my life, regardless of what I had really planned or what I was trying to do. All he asked me was to do one thing, to serve and to follow. To serve and to follow. So, to sum this whole story up so that we can take a few questions, let me just say what I did now. Once I finished my 12th year, there's many things I could have done. I could have stayed in the NFL, did some coaching. I could have did some other jobs and opportunities. But what I did when I finished, I didn't take a whole bunch of time off. I immediately went right back to school. Not to finish my degree, because I'd already finished my degree in computer science. But I wanted to teach kids. I want to work with guys like you every day. I want to be on the field coaching. I want to be in the classroom teaching. I teach algebra today. Why? Because I want you to understand that the plan and the path is already there for you. But you got to make that decision to serve and to follow. And when you serve and you follow and you do those right things and you stay on that path and you don't veer, when someone wants you to go one way or the other way, you stay on that path. All of your hopes and dreams are down there somewhere. It's just a matter of you just keep walking. Just keep walking. Now, I'm sure I'm getting short on time here. So this is what I'm going to do. And I know it's going to be a football question. I'll take any questions.